song, I thought. Fitting song for when we went up to Boston and handled business. Of course we had it. Sing along if you know the lyrics. In a little bit, I guess. Let me hear whoa in the chat. Wow, we're back. I can't believe we're back. We don't have as many people as we did last week, but we're still going to roll. I'm just going to probably be talking a lot to myself, which is totally fine. I'm going to grab my water real quick. 1 second. If you missed the beginning portions, I was doing a little Irish jig. I think that's what it's called, along with shipping off to Boston. So, yeah, we're here. Week 2 preview. Spoiler, it's not going to be much of a preview. I don't have much to talk about Wagner, but we'll get there. I just think it's important. You know, last week I set this up with Greg Schiano in the middle, Gavin Wimsatt on the right, and Noah Vedra on the left. Well, Noah Vedra's hurt. And if you're like me, you didn't expect that to be news Saturday morning when you're getting ready to tailgate. Well, now we have Al-Shadi Salam, according to the ACC network. The joke of the ACC network. Well, of course, this is Evan Simon. He actually took the second handoff in the game before Johnny Langan and Gavin went third, all in the first drive. And also, if you'd like to see me do the Irish jig, I recommend going back a little bit in the stream if that's possible. I think that's possible, but I think I did a pretty good job. I was hitting it. Anyway, that's obviously Evan Simon, but that's what the ACC network, you know, the Poverty Network. I'm not going to talk about the conference itself, but the network itself, absolute dog water. Anyway, I felt like we needed to switch Noah Vedra with Evan Simon because he's the guy who played in the game, and to be quite honest, I thought he did a heck of a damn good job. We'll get to that when we get closer to the game. But I do, real quick, for those of you in the chat, I do need some help. I'm going to need some participation in the chat. When I say R, you say you. R. Just kidding. This was at the game. Obviously, didn't know this picture was being taken. Neither did my brother Anthony to the left. Anyway, I was invested in this game the whole time. I don't know what I was doing there. I think I was, that's right, you. Hell yeah, chat. I think I was chanting R. I'm pretty sure that's what was going on here. And I think I'll use this time to kind of just talk about the environment. That's how I wanted to set this up. When we got to our hotel, automatically I see a Rutgers person. Then I see a Rutgers lacrosse person. The presence was there in Chestnut Hill and in the greater Boston area, in my opinion. I was staying in Seaport. But most importantly, if the student section at Boston College, and credit to the student section at Boston College, they were, I wouldn't say that they were too loud, but they were there. And they stayed for, I want to say, most of the game. They were there, and credit to them. But if they weren't there, I actually think the majority of the fans in the stadium would have been Rutgers fans. I thought we did an awesome job. People were invested the whole game. I honestly think we were louder. I think we were louder than the Boston College fans, which, oh my God, I can't wait for Saturday. I don't know how many people are going to show up to the game against Wagner, being that it's Wagner, but I think the energy is going to be alive. It will absolutely be better energy than it was at Boston College just because of the sheer numbers. It's going to be awesome. I mean, this guy, real quick, red hat, sunglasses, beard, red sleeves, black shirt. I think when he realized we were going to win the game, I could have sworn he was tearing up, and he had his sunglasses off. I don't know why he took his sunglasses off because I kept mine on to keep my tears hidden. But it was awesome. The energy was there. Everybody was having fun. I really don't think if your team's going to play in Boston College, I'm going to be completely honest, it wasn't that great of an experience. The concourse, the concessions, shitty. It wasn't that, like, there wasn't much excitement from people, like Boston College people. Like, this is their first home game of the year. It's just a weirder environment. Catholic institution, maybe that's why, I don't know. They were a little bit more conservative. Who knows? But it wasn't that great. The scoreboards barely gave any replays. It wasn't that great. If Rutgers were to play Boston College again over there, I don't know if I would go. But I definitely wouldn't watch the ACC network, which means I'd probably go to the game because I'd rather do that than watch the ACC network. Moving on, quick update. If you remember or here last week, you probably remember I was talking about Taj Harris. I was really excited for him, wide receiver transfer from Syracuse. Fortunately, he is currently, I don't want to say forever, but he's currently no longer with the program. He's taking a leave of absence, apparently for personal reasons. Not really sure what's going on. From my experience, when we didn't see him line up on the first offensive series, the second offensive series, the third offensive series, you knew something was up. His body language was weird on the sideline when I did see him. I think he ended up making one catch, though, but it was strange. Something was up. Who knows what? But, yeah, he's no longer with the program. If something's wrong, obviously prayers up to him. We hope for the best. I'd love to see him back. Rutgers Nation would absolutely welcome him back with open arms. So prayers up to Taj if everything's all right with him and his family, and hopefully we get to see him play here for Rutgers real soon. I think we should also quickly take a look at the Big Ten. Everybody's played at least once. Obviously, we're only at the bottom because we haven't played a conference game. Everybody in the Big Ten East has a win and no losses, which I think is pretty awesome. Sorry, just was seeing something. Takeaways from the Big Ten East. Indiana had a comeback win at home against Illinois. Very weird, sloppy game, but they came away with the win, so credit to them. Penn State obviously beat Purdue on the road Thursday night. After we'll get to that a little bit later. Maryland beat Buffalo. Michigan beat Colorado State. Michigan State beat Western Michigan. Ohio State beat Notre Dame. Obviously the most impressive win of all of the Big Ten teams together. And, of course, we beat Boston College. Northwestern had a bye. Iowa barely beat, I think, North or South Dakota at home. Just a really embarrassing win. Positive outlook for Week 4 for Rutgers. We play them September 24th. Minnesota routed New Mexico State, I believe. Wisconsin beat, can't remember who, but they beat them handily. Illinois obviously beat, who'd they beat last week? Last week they beat Wyoming. This week they lost to Indiana on the road. Purdue had a bye this week, but they lost to Penn State this week. And then Nebraska beat somebody that they should have easily beaten. They did, but it wasn't as convincing as a game as you would think. Anyway, I think the Big Ten is in pretty good hands. Ohio State, I kind of want. We'll talk about those games a little bit later on. But either way, I definitely think once again, the Big Ten East is far superior to the Big Ten West. I don't think anybody needs to be convinced that. But as the season shakes up, who knows what can happen. But that's a lot of W's I see in the East, and I hope it stays that way. Let's talk about Boston College. All right, after the game, I fired off some quick thoughts on Twitter. Just so everybody is aware, we pretty much played 3 quarterbacks. There's really 2 quarterbacks. Johnny Langan only came in to really run the Wildcat, and he did it effectively, of course. But it was between Evan Simon and Gavin Wimsatt. I got to move myself real quick. Hold on. Wait a second. Transition. I'm over there now. Whoa! So quarterback situation was weird, being that within the same drive, we were playing 2 different quarterbacks. And in the first drive, we played 3 different quarterbacks, and we went 3 and out. So, yes, it was weird, but both Gavin Wimsatt, both Evan Simon played with tremendous heart. They both had some plays that were really awesome. Most importantly, they both impressed with their feet. Obviously, or their legs, I should say. Obviously, we want to see some passing game. But for these the fact that we got out of this game against Boston College on the road with a win builds confidence going into, I think, winnable games against Wagner and then Temple the following week. That should help our quarterbacks figure out, or at least our offense figure out, who's our guy going to be and what's our identity going to be on offense. So I know everybody in the chat definitely is screaming for Gavin Wimsatt, and let's just kind of forget about Noah Vedral for a second. I don't hate Evan Simon. I really don't. I mean, credit to this guy for sticking through. I think this is his third or I want to say fourth year with the program. Finally getting some playing time, valuable playing time, and credit to him because we all know what Gavin Wimsatt's capable of. I think it was nice to see Evan Simon get some real limelight underneath of him. So I was sick. Number 2, let's talk about the offensive line. As the game went on, they got better, and we're going to get to a point in the next slide where we can really, really, really capitalize on what that means. And I mentioned in previous years, it's the opposite. They could have started out really hot. By the end of the game, donezo. We're not getting any movement on the line. We're not blocking downfield. We're not keeping their guys in front of us. It was just very encouraging. I think there were parts where they could improve passing-wise or pass blocking, but again, week 1, there were a lot of penalties. There were some ridiculous false starts, but again, if that stuff's going to happen, let it be week 1. Let's play clean football, error-free football, no flags in games that we should win. There's no reason that we should have some jitters in the upcoming games. But most importantly, number 3, I think, the defense kept us in this game. Time and time and again, they had 3 turnovers, I believe, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, and I think probably 3 or 4 forced fumbles. So the defense was playing, and all levels were playing. I know I talked last week saying I was a little bit worried about how the linebackers were going to play. They didn't make me feel worried at all. I thought they played tremendously. The defensive line, again, similar to the offensive line, as the game progressed, they got better, especially on the last drive when we didn't even give Boston College a chance to get a first down. Credit to the defense. It was awesome, and I'm really looking forward to watching them play for the remainder of the season. Number 4, keep chopping. That's what we did. There's going to be a clip in the video I show coming up. Greg Schiano telling the team it's chop time, and you really just felt that there is a culture within Rutgers football that the players are buying into, the fans are buying into, the coaches are buying into, the university's buying into. It's real. It's what's the word? Palpable, I think might be the word I'm looking for. It was awesome. When final, you'll see in the clip, final 6 minutes left, and the offense is playing, and Greg Schiano's just saying, it's chop time. And you'll see it in the video, and it fires me up. And that's exactly what the team did. They didn't stop. They played in the moment, and they chopped it. It was awesome. And most importantly, the hardest part of going 3-0 is donezo. We did it. We went on the road. We beat a Power 5 team for the 2nd year in a row. There's no reason we can't finish this out-of-conference slate 3-0 going into Iowa, maybe get 4-0. That's awesome. So I do want to talk about some offensive players and defensive players of the game. I think you could say either Kyle Monungai or Al-Shadi Shalom as the offensive player. I got to give it to the young guy, though. He had 2 back-to-back 20-plus yard rushes, one that ended up in the game-winning touchdown. All I wanted, after seeing him play in the spring game, this was a guy I wanted to watch real bad, and I got to see it, and in dramatic and successful fashion. So can't wait to see more from him. Defensive player of the game, I really do think, I think it's Robert Longerbeam without a competition. The guy had a forced fumble, he had an interception, and he was making plays all over the field. So I'm super excited to watch him play because, again, I think our secondary is one of our strongest units or our strongest unit, and if he can be another guy on that, that's awesome. And the team unit of the game, so I was going to go with the offensive line, but I just got to go with the big boys on both sides of the ball, the men fighting in the trenches, going to war for all 60 minutes, both offense and defensive line. I think they're the reason that we came out with this win. So credit to them, and I can't wait to watch them again play on Saturday. Now, let's talk about the drive. And, of course, we're talking not about John Elway's game-winning drive against the Broncos in the playoffs, where they went 95 yards to win the game because there was a fumble. Look it up, historic. John Elway in his prime. I'm talking, of course, about this. The final.
From watching drum solos on your phone.
Goodness.
To playing along.
These ads, YouTube. All right. So this is the final drive of. I'll speed through it. I'll talk about things I want to, but I really think
Wins it in Simon.
Let's lower this.
About equal time
First play,
so far today, and they give up the middle.
Good, solid 5 yards. But let's do one thing. Let's try to slow this down and just take a look at how the offensive line gets the push. Let's see where we are. All right, We're all going to the right. Langen's coming down over here.
Time so far today,
We're blocking, we're pushing. Monongai gets, 6 yards. Mind you, I'm right above that 20-yard line, biting my nails, scared for my life, knowing that if Rutgers was going to win the game, this was going to probably be their last chance with the ball. So this was an important drive. Keep in mind, we're on the 4-yard line. We got to go 96 yards to score because we need to. Next play.
First down.
Let's see what happens.
The one thing that Boston
we get to
College
relive this
has not been
moment
able to do
together.
really all day,
Most
right?
importantly,
Just
let's
slam
look
it
at
in
who's
there
the
and get
quarterback
4 or
on the
5
field
when
right
you
now.
need
It is Gavin Wimsatt. He's 18 years old. Keep that in mind. He's 18 years old. What do we do here?
Wims it again, hands it off to Monongai, and again De
Close
Palma's
to the
there
first
make the
down.
tackle,
All right.
falls forward.
Again, the offensive line getting a push. The third down
This
siren.
third down is almost as big as
It
the
played
last
like
one we
10
just
times
had.
on this drive. It was brutal.
What a position
Oh my God,
Rutgers
fans.
got themselves into here.
Oh my God.
3-1, fourth quarter.
Gavin,
down six.
let's
This
go.
drives for it all.
Monongai.
Oh.
Let's see where they mark it. It's going to be right on
Nungai,
the
chopping his feet, gets the yards.
He is.
Now,
Yep, first down.
I think this play I got really upset, and I'm going to show you
Move back
why,
in there.
and we'll break it down. But
Salam's in back in
this is what it
backfield.
means to chop. You know, there's going to be ups, there's going to be
Same
downs.
formation. Let's see if they just go back to
So we
this.
got 3 to the right. We got Sean Ryan up
yards
top,
up
Aaron
the
Kirksek in the
First
slot,
time
Johnny
they've
Langen
had
in
third
motion.
down since the first
We're
quarter.
rolling out,
It's
play
gonna throw.
action.
On the
Kirkshank's
rollout, had
open.
Cruikshank, but overthrew
I
him.
mean, that is not something
4 or 5
we
yards
can
up the
we can
dust.
do in
First
Big
time
Ten
they've
play.
got
That
third
could
down
go for
conversion
a
since the
pick
first
6. All right, so I mean, right off the bat, Kirkshank is just open. All right, the safety's playing deep. The outside linebacker bites on the play fake. Gavin's rolling out, eyes downfield,
Wims
rolling
to
out to
throw.
his right. He's open. Look how open Kirkshank is. All right, and I think that if that's Noah Vedral, who's a veteran player, he completes that throw. Not saying I just have to be honest and call it as it is. Oh no. Uh-oh. Is my stream blocked? I don't think so. I hope not. My stream might get blocked. If it does, let me know. Ooh. Alright, I'm just gonna mute it. Damn, they're not gonna. This has got to be like fair, right? Well, we're gonna find out. If it gets blocked, I'm sorry. But anyway, Noah Vedral, I think, completes that pass, and I think luckily Gavin Wimsatt's young. I think that he'll complete this pass in the future. But I was worried because that could have went for more than just a first down. So obviously it goes incomplete. So it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. What's gonna happen? What do we do here? Run off to Kyle Monongai. First down, or at least third and one. 3rd and 1. All right, big play, big play. Guys, look at Willie Tyler. Look at him. Just taking the cornerback and driving him, not letting go. Ireland Burke getting down the field. Hell yeah. I'm sorry, Ireland Brown. He used to be Ireland Burke. Long story about that. Kyle Monongai's tired. I don't blame him. I'd be tired too. Who's going to get the ball here? Do we keep it with Gavin? Nope, we hand it off to Al-Shadi Salam for the first down. All right? So we're trucking. We're trucking. Pirate. I'm using YouTube. Please don't block me. Look, Greg Shannon praying. That was me. I am Greg. That was me. I was like, please, let's win this game. The reason I wanted to do this rather than break down Wagner is there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about with Wagner. Johnny Langen takes it, first down. We're almost at the 50-yard line, all right? 4:55 left. Way to go, Johnny Langen, playing against his former team. I just don't know how this would be copyright, but this is on YouTube. Like, how's that make any sense? We got any copyright lawyers out there? How would that make any sense? All right, Kyle Monongai back in. Good 6 yards. Offensive line again, doing their job, getting downfield, blocking their man in front of them. Picking him up. Our men are fighting. Jeff Halfley, former Greg Schiano assistant, on the sideline, on his hands and knees, begging for air, just like his team was. Now we're approaching the 4:20-minute mark. Whoops. Sorry, I sped ahead a little bit. What's next? I'm sorry that it's quiet, but I wanted to cut out the audio at least so we don't get in trouble. Kyle Monungai keeping his feet, chopping for... No, just 3rd and 1. Now we have to hear that stupid freaking siren again. Here it is. Hold on. This is what I was talking about.
And Crookshank, dangerous Aaron
Just
Crookshank.
watch. Chop time! Chop time! That's
maybe you're at
awesome.
midfield. Maybe you're
Watch
four
it,
down
wait.
territory here. If you're Rutgers,
Right now! Oh, my God. How don't you want to just get the first down after looking over the sideline at him? Oh, sorry, fans. Sorry. Nope, you're not going to get loud enough. Not for Kyle Monungai. Monungai, again, working his tail off. I probably should have given offensive player to him because he did really... He was trucking. He almost had 100 yards. He had like 80 yards rushing. Uh-oh. Sorry, defensive coordinator. It's too late. Your boys are tired because now we got Al, Shadi, Salam taking it across the 40, across the 30, and he's to the 20. Oh, my God. At this point, we're like, holy shit. We're moving the ball. We haven't had a negative play yet. What's going on? At 3 minutes and 8 seconds left, clock's going to roll real soon. What's Rutgers going to do? Are they going to find a way to lose the game like they did in previous years? Or are they going to close out this game? Are they going to finish this game? What are they going to do? Let's find out in a couple seconds. 3 minutes left. What will happen? Relive all the greatest moments. Okay, wait. Look at that. Look at this right here. Oh, I can't zoom in anymore. Damn. Anyway, pancaked. Immediately. Pancaked. I love it. Look at the receivers. Oh, my God. Touchdown. And that's a team touchdown right there. That's not just because he's fast. That's just not because, they have to respect the pass. That's because everybody did their job. Everybody did that job. And you know what we call that? We call that ground and pound, smash mouth, in your face, Greg Schiano football. That's what it's called. And we're going to do it all year long. It was awesome. It was an awesome drive to watch. Look at this. Pancaked. Look at this. Wait. Everyone's blocking. Kirkshank. Shameen Jones. Everybody's doing their job. Team touchdown. It was awesome. I was super happy we got to see that. It kind of stunk because it was on the opposite side of the field. We couldn't see it that well, but all right. Talked about Boston College. Talked about Rutgers. Let's talk about Wagner. I got absolutely nothing. So what are we going to do instead? We're going to quickly talk about the Rutgers bracket that I've been doing, and we're almost completing the Final Four, okay? Currently, we are in this Elite Eight of College Ave. We have Ron Harper Jr.'s buzzer beater versus Purdue going up against the Women's Soccer College Cup, which is pretty much the Final Four in soccer. They ultimately lost to, I think it was Florida State. They had to go all the way to Stanford, Palo Alto, so far trip, but really, really a great moment. The women's sports in general, specifically soccer, have really carried Rutgers athletics for a very, very long time. Why didn't BC? That's true. I just don't know if you get. I think that's all. Oh my God! Are you fucking serious? Wait, can you guys hear me? I think we're back. Are we back? Are we back? I think we're back. Yo, everybody's saying, give me a heads up that it got blocked. Thank you. That was very nice. I want to play music, but I'm too scared now. We're back. We're back. All right. Appreciate it, everybody. Yo, do me a favor. I really, like, if I wanted to really build, like, a following and all this stuff, like, I know I have to, like, really, beg people to like it, share it, subscribe. I'm not going to beg you guys to, but if you can, I think it will help. I think and I don't really want it for people who aren't interested in Rutgers. I just know that there are people out there that are. So if you can like it, I do this, obviously for you guys, but I also just like talking about this stuff. So, if you don't want to do that, don't do it. But, if you want to help me out, help me out. You know a guy down the street that likes to talk and listen to people? Be like, hey, this guy likes to talk and listen to people too. I don't listen that much, but we'll just talk about this real quick. Anyway, wait, let's actually get an update on where we stand with this bracket, because the goalie of Rutgers Twitter actually quote tweeted me last night saying, "Come on, let's do it for the ladies," and I got really scared because I put them in because I wanted to, not because I thought that I had to include Title IX stuff. But here we are. Here's the status right now. This was the post. Awesome weekend for Rutgers athletics. What's my goodness, I forgot to put number 3 NCAA tournament hashtag. Anyway, the current matchup is, Jesus, what's with all these spelling mistakes? I'm so embarrassed. Dale, you're supposed to proofread this. Number 2, Ron Harper Jr.'s buzzer beater versus Purdue. We all know that was incredible. Or number 7, Women's Soccer College Cup. So, there's 2 hours left. If you haven't voted yet, I'm Ayo Paisan on Twitter. Vote. Let's see what you think. But yeah, I got a quote tweet from the... Wait, no, that's not what I got. How do I do this? Look at this. Show the 7 seed some love. She's the goalie. This is all... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my God. She was playing for the Women's World Cup team. Shout out, Meg. Keep going, girl. Oh, yeah. Let's see what's she doing. What's she up to? Oh, yeah. Keep it going, girl. Appreciate the love. Thank you. Anyway, some thoughts on week 1. Thursday night, I thought was an awesome night of college football. We can't forget the backyard brawl, West Virginia at Pitt. Thought that was one of the best game, if not the best game of the weekend. Who knows what would have happened if West Virginia's wide receivers caught the ball and didn't let it go through their hands right to the defender for a pick 6. I thought it was an awesome game. Purdue, Penn State, also very good. Penn State won with like 50 seconds left. Shout out to them. I really do like Aiden O'Connell, the quarterback for Purdue. Please watch him. If you see Purdue on, just know the reason they lost that game is because they refused to not pass the football. That's all they did was pass the football. Tennessee blew the doors off of Ball State. Tennessee is going to finish the year with one of the best offenses in the country. Hendon Hooker's awesome. Friday night was rough because something bad happened to the Virginia Tech Hokies, and we'll leave it at that. But I covered on Michigan State, Western Michigan, so I liked that game. I don't know how I feel about Michigan State. I really don't. I don't know if I don't think they're as good as they were last year. They're still able to pass the ball, but they were great because of, Kenneth Walker, who they obviously don't have. But they do have Jalen Berger, who transferred from Wisconsin, and he's from New Jersey. So I view him as an enemy of the state. I don't care that he's from New Jersey. He went to Michigan State, and I'm not about that. Why did I highlight Duke Temple? We played Temple. Duke's been really bad for a lot of years, and they shut out Temple, completely blew the doors off of them, which means good things for us. And then, of course, I mentioned earlier Illinois, Indiana. Indiana won that game. Moving on to Saturday, we finally had that full Saturday slate, and my goodness, the Georgia Bulldogs are the bullies of college football. If anybody watched this game, you were watching one team play against a body bag, which was Oregon. And Oregon is a talented team. It's a very talented team, but they never stood a chance in this game. And I want Oregon to be good because I think that they've gotten forgotten about in the Pac-12. Like I said earlier, or last stream, I think they're probably the most successful college football team in the Pac-12 in the last 10, 15 years. And they just get forgotten about when USC and UCLA try to go to the Big Ten. So I was sad to see Oregon get embarrassed, for lack of a better word, but Georgia's legit, deservingly now in the number 2 seed, up from the number 3 seed or ranking in college football. Bama rolls, no question about it. Destroyed Utah State. Ohio State, are they mortal? Here are my. If you watched this Ohio State game and you saw the spread, it was up to 18 points. I think it went back down to 16. That's a huge spread for a top 5 matchup, number 2 versus number 5. But I think what happened in this game is Ohio State came in it. Their offense wasn't clicking right away, but their defense I thought did tremendous. But what happened? They quickly lost Jackson Smith and Jigma to an injury. Then they lost Julian Fleming. They lost like their top 2 wide receivers, already losing their top 2 wide receivers from last year to the NFL. So I think what happened with Ohio State, and I think Ryan Day was like, look, we don't have to do what we did last year. We don't have to score 50, 40 points. There's a reason that Taylor is asleep. There's a reason. But she held up like a champ, and she didn't let it impact Saturday, and she was there with me the whole time on Saturday. She was a bigger fan than I was at the game. It was awesome, and it was very hot out, and she didn't have any water. She only had chicken tenders once. I needed to get her more, but they were all out, but she did really good. Anyway, back to Ohio State. I think at some point in the game, they were like, let's let our defense win this game. Let's run the ball. Let's just cruise. Let's just win this game. That's all they have to do. They don't have to do anything else. All they had to do was win that game. It was a top 5 matchup. You lose that game, okay, you go back to maybe like the 7 or 8 seed, just like Notre Dame did. But they won the game, and I really don't think it was a question in the second half. I think their defense took over, and Ohio State's offense began to start clicking as well. Anyway, they are mortal, but I think they play Arkansas State this upcoming weekend. God bless Arkansas State. Utah, Florida, probably from start to finish, the best game of the Saturday slate. Shout out to the Gators getting a big top 10 win. Now they find themselves ranked, so good for them. North Carolina State and UNC really almost lost their seasons. NC State almost lost to ECU, and UNC almost lost to App State. I mean, it was... Yes, I would say he is the favorite for Times Person of the Year, to answer your question, Henry. He's probably at the top right now of the leaderboard for Times Person of the Year, possibly the decade, already just 2 years in. Anyway, North Carolina State, UNC. I mean, I think NC State will end up being fine. UNC, if just bet the over in all of their games. Their defense is terrible. Their offense isn't bad, but teams will score against them, and I think they'll find a way to score. Bet the over in their games. USC and Miami's offenses were on fire. USC scored 67. Miami scored 70. Tyler Van Dyke for Miami is a tremendous quarterback, and we already know Caleb Williams at USC is good. It was good to see Cincinnati fight against Arkansas. I don't know who covered there, but I know that it was a one-score game, and shout out to Cincinnati really hanging in there again with another SEC foe. You know, we want to see these Power 5 teams continue to be successful and not just be, you know, the typical teams that we always see circle in and out of the college football playoffs. Lastly, I put Iowa. I don't want to get us excited because Iowa will always find a way to win games like the one that they won. They scored 7 points and didn't score a touchdown. They had 2 safeties and a field goal. 4 plus 3 equals 7. Quick math. I don't know how you can expect to win Big Ten games playing games like that against lesser foes. So I'm looking at this September 14th game at SHI Stadium versus Iowa, and I'm licking my chops. So let's hope that we can get through these 2 weeks healthy, and maybe we see a surprise going into week 4. Sunday night, if you watched FSU and LSU, both of these teams deserve to lose. Absolutely both teams deserve to lose. Neither deserve to win because FSU for the whole game pretty much, I wouldn't say dominated, but just was winning and continuing winning. And then they threw the game away at the end. I think they fumbled when they were inside the 5-yard line and they were already up They were already up a touchdown. So all they needed was a field goal, and they fumbled. And then LSU goes 95 yards with like, oh man, I don't even know, like a minute and 30 seconds. They finally score with 1 second left, which was ridiculous. And then they missed the extra point. I mean, it was awesome to watch as a fan because it was chaotic. But I definitely do not like Brian Kelly. I'm not a fan of Brian Kelly. Yeah, I don't like him. And it's so funny because the only coach that so Brian Kelly, for those that don't know, was the former Notre Dame head coach. And Brian Kelly was only able to bring one assistant with him, I think that wanted to come with him from Notre Dame to LSU. And it was his special teams coordinator. And their special teams unit is what literally lost them the game. 2 muffed punts that resulted in, I think, at least 1 score for Florida State. And then they missed a kick, an extra point to tie the game, go to overtime. I mean, just can't make that stuff up. And then Monday night, we learned again, for the second year in a row, that Clemson has a 12-0 defense but a 5-7 offense. However, on the last drive of the game, we finally got to see the five-star freshman, Cade Klubik, I think is his name. I loved what I saw. And I don't want to shit on DJ because if he had the receivers that like Ohio State had last year or this year or Alabama has or any of these teams that have elite wide receivers that we see go on to the NFL, if his wide receivers could make contested catches or even just catch the ball, I think that Clemson probably could have scored like 50 points. There were a lot of mistakes I thought that DJ made, and I think he gets the bulk of the blame, but I definitely kind of want to see this young guy play because he brought life. The fans were into it. It was fun. But yeah, their offensive line is not good. Their defense is elite. There's no question about it. But there's a lot of problems going on in Clemson. So, the Big Cinco. What do I have next? Oh, this again, tailgate recap. So I don't have much more. Today was a pretty long day for me, but I don't have much more other than if you are in the greater Piscataway area next Saturday, hit up the Scarlet Lot. We will be there. We will be tailgating. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. It's been a while since I got to tailgate, of course, outside of SHI Stadium. Looking ahead, if you're still here with me, so obviously we have this weekend it's back to the birthplace game versus Wagner, 4 p.m. After that, we're in Philly at Lincoln Financial for Temple. No brainer to go to. They could Xfinity beforehand, watch some noon games, get into the game right for 2 o'clock, get the job done, have some fun, probably go to Philly Live and win $1 million playing roulette. After that, September 24th, we open up Big Ten play against Iowa, all right? Home game against Iowa. Winnable game. What does that mean? 4-0 for probably the first time since 2012, my senior year in high school. I think that might be accurate. Then we go on the road October 1st to Ohio State. You guys can make your own opinions there. After that, and this is where I wanted to end, October 7th, Friday night against Nebraska. Blackout game. Another winnable game. Trust me. But more importantly and more fun, at least you can see some Barstool stuff in here. The Barstool College Football Show is coming to Piscataway, New Jersey. So I'll be there. I requested off work. It's going to be awesome. I'm hoping the students show out because those shows are really fun. Think College Game Day, but way more fun. So if you're around town, if you have off on Friday, I definitely think it's something worth getting up to. So, after that, let's keep doing that. So if let's just pretend, perfect world, 3-0 out of conference, beat Iowa, 4-0, lose to Ohio State, 4-1, beat Nebraska, 5-1, beat Indiana, 6-1. Then we go on the road to Minnesota. We're not going to go past that. I don't want to do Minnesota because I don't really know who they are as a team. All I know is we have a shot to be bowl eligible by October 22nd with 3 Big Ten wins. I really, 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 really think it's possible. In other years, I've said this. I thought I used to see 4 wins on the schedule, and I was wrong. We would get 2. But this game in Boston, I think, being there in person, seeing the team, seeing how the fans reacted, how the players reacted to the win, there's excitement. There's excitement. It's real. I can feel it, and I hope you do too. But with that being said, this was a shorter stream than last week. we don't have Thursday night games. We do have Friday night games, but we got the NFL back on Thursday night. And how can we not be excited about that? We are 2 nights away from the NFL being back. We'll have NFL and college football for 15 weeks. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. But again, thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'll give you back some time. Maybe you get to bed early. Maybe you get some ice cream. Maybe you watch House of Dragons or the new Lord of the Rings show. I don't know what you guys do anymore. I don't know. All right, I'm disconnected with you. I want to connect, which is why I want to see you at the tailgate this Saturday. We'll be there at 11 o'clock. I hope to see you. And with that being said, let's chop it up, baby. Peace out.